What's going on? Oh my God. Um, hey, Salam Israel. This the Isupk Milwaukee under Commanding General Yohana out of Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group, period. I am Officer Kananya. Yahweh Shem Yahshua out there to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alataba Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Today we're going to be speaking about a little bit of history in the Bible and also amongst other things that I think should be brought out because like most of the time it's a reoccurring thing and how nothing is new under the sun and basically how the world just repeats itself and repeats its actions. You know what I mean? We got what we got coming up is the Midwest Fire Weekend. It's gonna be in Detroit this year. You know what I'm saying? Gear up for it now. Get your ride and your Airbnbs and hotels. Places you're gonna stay for that weekend is gonna be fire. Hopefully, God willing, the Most High willing, I make it. You know, the only way I can't see my make it is due to some type of Satan's or funds or demons, you know. But we gonna overcome all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm Officer Kananya coming at you to speak about history. It's been a while since I taught a class, you know what I'm saying? But we back and we gonna teach it strong, bringing out the histories and you know just things that so happen to reoccur. If you could. I don't know if y'all got all that, but I'm you know, start from the top. Salam Israel. This is the Isupk Milwaukee coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are now affiliated with no other Israelite group, period. I don't care what they say. They might have got everything from us. You know what I'm saying? They look like us, act like us, but they not us, especially them lavender lads out there. You feel me? Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Baraka Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Al Shem Yahshua to the sisters out there. I'm Officer Kananya, Officer 50, you know, coming at you today to teach you a little bit about history, amongst other things that I think should be brought out today. It's been a while since I taught a class, but you know, I'm back. I'm gonna teach it strong, you know. I just had to reiterate it because I seen we was on mute. We was on mute a little bit on mute. If y'all could out there, as y'all come in, like, share, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Leave comments. Comments are always good. Yeah, and encourage your friends in the world to come on in here, man. See what it's like. We ain't gonna bite you. You know, come get some of this truth. You know, friends in the world. So, and if they a little bit older, it might be a little bit harder because you know how older people be getting stuck in their ways. You know, they figure they know everything, but just because you older don't mean you have the wisdom or the truth. Just because you're older don't mean you're knowledgeable. Just because you're older, it doesn't mean that you know the right things to say. You probably like this would a lot of older cats I ran into. This is their favorite thing to say. Well, I read the Bible the front end to the back, from front to back. I read the whole thing twice, 3 times. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to read the Bible. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you read it that many times or if you read it at all. It's the understanding that you get it from that you get from it, the truth that you get from it. The breakdowns. You could be like the brother ZQ say, drunk with Christianity. It's a lot of people out here drunk with Christianity. And then not only they're drunk with Christianity, they're in the world. So they try to pass the drunkenness off to the next person and the next person and the next person. Next thing you know, everybody around them drunk with Christianity. Like it's a hellhole. This place should be burned down. If you're not in the truth, I encourage you to watch a class, join a class. You know what I'm saying? Call into a class in a city near you. We in all 50 states, almost all 50 states. If not all, almost. We almost there. We overseas. We in Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, places like that where you wouldn't think we at. All you gotta do is type in Isupk, then type in Mexico, or Isupk, then type in Canada. We all over the place, man. Teaching these scriptures, breaking these scriptures down, not only breaking them down, giving you the truth of the matter in the scriptures. And the scriptures, like they say, the truth, it hurts your soul. Like this book, this Bible here, it's a double-edged, this is many things. It's a double-edged sword. It's medicine. It washes. Like it's crazy because this Bible, KJV, King James Version, it's many things. Because how is it a double-edged sword? Because when it cuts, it cuts. It don't just cut like it don't physically cut the flesh, but it cuts the core. It cuts the soul of what you know. And once we give you that breakdown of the truth, then it slices the lies right up and it have you confounded. And if you get cut in the right place, then you will want to know more. You will want to, as soon as you ask this question, you'll be like, well, I got another question. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to cut away all the lies that you've been taught through the media, through the world, the church, people that think they know stuff, who think they knowledgeable. It's many of them in our community. Without even reading a book or reading anything, they just think they know because they watched a science class or they went to college or something. They just think they automatically know, but no, they don't know. You got to come in here and get the proper breakdown. Isupk, the only ones who have the proper breakdown to these scriptures. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And also, I encourage you to challenge it. In the city near you, call into that school, leave a comment up there, challenge what we saying, because it's the absolute truth. If it wasn't the absolute truth, it wouldn't have ruffled your feathers. The truth ruffles your feathers and it gets you uncomfortable. That's what it's supposed to do. Because if you're comfortable, then that means you it's nothing that you can be taught. It's nothing that you can look another way. Like, how to look. You don't supposed to look at the glass half empty. You're supposed to look at it half full. That type of thing. If your morals and your thoughts and your knowledge ain't challenged, then you just docile and content. You're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be on a path to trying to know more, gain more knowledge through these texts, scriptures, and statutes and commandments, because that's the only way that you're going to be knowledgeable. The scriptures say, and I might be paraphrasing what the scriptures say. I don't want to butcher it. the scriptures say, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You know what I mean? So if you fear the Lord, if you might have done something in your life that you regret, or done something in your life that's in the back of your mind, but you think about it every once in a while, and it's just that horrible thing. If you're not dead yet, this is your second chance. This is your third chance. This is the chances that the Lord give you. If he didn't want to give you no chances, if he didn't want to give you those chances, you'll be out of here already. Somewhere in the grave somewhere. We're going to try again in the next life. And reincarnation is in the Bible, if y'all didn't know. But it's like, but yeah, second chance is here. And once you hear these scriptures from the Isupk, a real priest of the Lord of the scriptures who actually carry out these scriptures and do what they tell them to do. Once you hear that, then you must adjust. You must adjust your life. Adjust, in other words, you must repent from all the wicked ways that you became comfortable with. Because I'm looking at this. Most of my people out there, they just comfortable with smoking weed. You can't be comfortable with that. It's a harmful substance that you willingly die engulfing in your body. And then I know some people that can't function without the drug called marijuana. If they don't smoke, they can't do no activities. They can't. Some of the single mothers and single dads out there, they can't even go home without smoking a blunt right after work. And that's called addiction. If you can't do something without something, that's called an addiction. And you should stop it immediately, because not only is it hurting your body, it's probably hurting your pockets. It's plaguing your mind, because I know, and I probably said this before in one of my classes, or classes or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I used to be a smoker, and then it played with my mind like, well, I'm gonna quit. That's the favorite thing to say. I'm gonna quit. But when it comes down to it, if something don't push you to quit, if something don't, click in your brain to quit, to stop and repent from doing these wicked things to yourself. We ain't even get to doing wicked things to anybody else. If you can't stop doing wicked things to your own body, whether it be drugs, being a whoremonger out there, a whore being, LGBT. I don't even like to call it that. I call it the LMNOP community, because it's a lot of alphabets, even though it's just 2 things: lesbian and gay. That's all it is. I don't know where they get all these terms from. That's another thing. But this is just the introduction. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, intrigue your mind. I'm trying to, start up, get a good running start on this class, because we gonna bring some history out. But I wanted to, just expound on a few things, just like that addiction that I was talking about. That addiction, if you trying to quit, right? Let me just say this. Say you trying to quit smoking, right? But then you got a friend that smoke all the time, and you hang with him or her all the time. You trying to quit is not gonna go well, because you continuously going over there to where the smoke is at. So then you're gonna be chilling back. I'm gonna stop smoking all day. You probably didn't smoke all day. Went over your friend's house, seen them smoking. Okay, well, it's like it's for me. Y'all think that's some kind of sign from God to smoke. It's not. It's crazy. They in my face with, no, you came over here. You could have been where you was at and not smoked, or picked up a different habit other than smoking. How I stopped was I substituted smoking for the truth. And it started little by little, but I was a rare case. I was able to, quit cold turkey. I don't know, because what I had put in substitution with it was sunflower seeds. Every time because this thing right here, this is repetitive. This is the addiction right here, putting stuff in pause. I support the pause policy. Putting stuff to your mouth like this, putting stuff, it's repetitiveness. So how I stopped, I start eating sunflower seeds, chewing gum, any little thing, eating them what is it? Them beef jerky joints, every other time. And then also you have to distance yourself from the people that smoke. That's how you stop the smoke. You gotta stop seeing it. It has to stop being in your vision. Then it's like an out of sight, out of mind thing. Once you don't see the smoke, once you don't participate in the smoke, then the smoke you will just be like, I remember you start getting that in your head. Like I remember, and this takes practice though, because most people can't quit cold turkey like I did. I don't know if it was cold turkey. I believe it was cold turkey because I didn't relapse. I didn't go back to smoking. But yeah, so we could call it cold turkey, but most people can't do it like that. It's different methods and different ways, but I just gave you some of the blueprints on how to stop, how to put that negative thing that you putting into your body, we away with that. That's the meaning of repenting. Repenting means stopping something that you once were doing that's harmful to you or the people around you, or even to the scriptures. It's harmful to you, the people around you, and it don't align with the scriptures, which once you look at the scriptures and actually get into it, it says your body is a temple. You don't want to be putting these toxins in your body, making your lungs black and all that. You know how they showed us that up in school. They showed us a smoking lung, and the lung that wasn't smoking. The lung that wasn't smoking was pure pink, pure, no scars on the lung, but the lung that was smoking was black, tar, all that type of stuff. You want the healthy lung, the pink lung. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a while, but the steps to start that is to separate yourself from smokers. Now, I ain't saying completely cut them off, because they might want to quit too. So they definitely, y'all, it could be like a team thing. Y'all can quit together. You know what I mean? Once you get it in your mind and you really want to do it, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? People don't really want to stop smoking, or it could be the peer pressure, or like I said before, that out of sight, out of mind thing. They see it, they see somebody else do it, so and that's a monkey see, monkey do mentality. A lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? They see other people doing stuff, so they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like a process to stopping these things, to repenting these things. The easiest thing for me to stop doing, and then I'm gonna bring out a history scripture and stuff like that. But this is just me personally. Salaki, hold on 1 second. The easiest thing for me to stop doing, once I seen it in these scriptures, was to stop eating that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I never even really ate lobster or shrimp like that. And if y'all in the black community, so-called black community, that gumbo dish come around every once in a while. So I ain't eating no crab legs, but the white man, the so-called devil that the Bible speaks of, made that seem like a luxury for us. You know what I'm saying? That's all I see on social media, people page, they showing that bag that's full of crab legs and corn and stuff like that. Like, that stuff is unlawful and it's harming your body. Next thing, you waking up and you got sickness in your body. You don't know how it got there. Well, that's how it got there. The unhealthy habits that you have. And if you follow the dietary laws in Leviticus, you'll be healthy as an ox. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sip a little wine here and there, just a little bit of hard drink here and there, but the plants and the herbs are meant for medicine. Those are not meant to be set on fire. It's like you it's like you burning the medicine supply to hallucinogens, to make them hallucinogens, because that's literally what weed is. It's a hallucinogen if you set it on fire. You know what I'm saying? It makes you, like Cat Williams said, famous in one of his stand-ups a while back, years back, maybe over 10 years back. It puts that fuck it in your system. Salakia for the language. It makes you not care about a lot of stuff. Like it puts a lazy spirit on you. It puts a non-caring spirit on you, and it puts a horn demon right on you. That's what marijuana do. And also a food demon. Because what happened? As soon as you smoke that, you go in the kitchen and you start emptying the fridge. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, let's try to do better. You know what I'm saying? Put the drugs down, because all drugs start from a plant. Because that's another thing that they say. Well, weed comes from a plant. Well, all drugs came from a plant. Drugs come from plants, if you didn't know. Yeah, let's just try to do better with our diet too. And it'll definitely help you. It'll give you more energy. It'll, Now I ain't gonna sit up here and tell a story though. I ain't gonna say eating a lot of food don't get you still sleepy, because that's what we call the itis. You get the itis, you eat too much of the good food, you still can get the itis, but you'll be more healthy than eating these abominable things, and you know what I'm saying, this stuff that's not good for your body at all. Next thing you eating these little shrimp, pork, crab, lobster, amongst other things. These, down south, South Florida, they eat gators and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just some of the stuff that they do. And even in Asia, they eating all these fish I ain't never seen. What they call that? I don't know what they call it when they put all the food. It's like, it'd be like on YouTube channels. They put a lot of food out in front of the monitor, and then they just eating. Well, if you look at some of the Asian people that do that, man, you ain't never seen these fish in the ocean. You ain't never seen these fish in the zoo, on Animal Planet, in real life. Like, they must got some foreign fish over there. Like, I bet you their aquarium is wild. They got some fish I ain't never seen. But that's neither here nor there. What I was saying was, they eat all kind of stuff. We as Israelites, as God's chosen people, it's certain things we can and cannot do. It's certain things we can and cannot eat. If you do those things that the Lord said don't do, then curses gonna happen. The little things might start happening in your life, and then you wonder, well, I wonder why did that happen? That's because you did something wrong. You knew it was wrong, or you probably didn't know, but you heard one of the prophets say that it was wrong. You heard that. Next thing you know, something bad happens to you, your belongings. I'm like, well, why did that even happen? You did something, because nothing is coincidence. The Lord sees everything too, so that was a long introduction. So it's just been a long time since I talked, but we're gonna get up here though. We're gonna go ahead and run through it real quick. Or not run through it, break it down. Run through it is just a little term that I like to use. What I shouldn't use, I should not. But hey, it's like history. Now, we all know, history repeats itself. The scriptures say nothing new under the sun. Let me see if I can find that too. We all know history repeats itself. This Bible is prophecy. It represents the past, present, and future. Is things in here that came to pass, that passed, and that we still waiting on to pass now. That's just something that the Bible is. It's a book of prophecy. It's a book of history, and it's a book of what word I'm looking for? Rules. To keep it plain, it's a book of prophecy, history, and law, statutes, and commandments. Put it in today's English, rules that things that you can and cannot do. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get this scripture real quick. Hold on 1 second. Ecclesiastes. Let me get that real quick before I bring out Zechariah 11:5. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. Ecclesiastes. Salakia. Bear with me, y'all. I'm here, trying to get these scriptures, so I got to go to it, break them down, things of that nature. Let me get these real quick, though. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It's chapter 1. 46. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. Ecclesiastes, right? Yep. Chapter 1, verse 9. Yep, there it is. Hold on. This right here for the bookmark. All right. Now this is the scripture that I was just talking about, how nothing new is under the sun. And it says that in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. Let me take a sip of this real quick if I could. So like you. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Meaning, the world itself, it's like that saying that we have today. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. The world itself has seen what we doing today. It's seen it time and time and time again. And I hear people out there talking about, well, the people in ancient days, they didn't have computers and stuff. How come they didn't? Did you see those writings and those things that's on the pyramid walls? Even in ancient text, they got paintings of people having that computer bag, even having a keyboard in their hands. Literally, these are drawings that's on the pyramids and on even and before y'all get to getting at me, I ain't going into Egyptology and nothing like that, because we all know the Jews, the Hebrews, the Israelites was in captivity in Egypt, and is color to the Egyptians. And I just wanted to add that because in these movies they paint all the Egyptians as white, as as fair skin as Esau. But if okay, so let's say that was the case. How was Moses? Okay, Moses is a dark skinned fellow, an Israelite, by the way, believed from the tribe of Benjamin. But he's a dark skinned fellow. How was if the Egyptians were white or were so-called fair skinned, how didn't Pharaoh know that Moses wasn't an Egyptian? Moses is a dark skinned fellow. They always project and say in these movies that the Egyptians are white. Like they got these movies called God of Egypt. Even what's that movie called, man? It's in cartoon. It's a cartoon, but it's called not the Emperor's New Groove. It's not like an anime comedy. It's like a I can't remember. But even in the cartoons, right? Moses is a dark-skinned man. So how didn't Pharaoh know if these Egyptians are so-called white people? How didn't Pharaoh know that Moses wasn't an Egyptian? Because Moses is a dark-skinned man. Moses is an Israelite according to the Bible. Imagine that. Moses the Israelite, the Pharaoh didn't know he was an Israelite. But in movies, they whitewash everything, every single thing. All our records, the judges thereof, the priests and prophets get painted over as being the so-called white man. And how is that? Like that's a different topic that I teach, but reading nothing new under the sun, that's just like today. Like they saying, even a while back, like maybe I don't know when they so-called said Christopher Columbus discovered America, but how you discover something that is people already here? They trying to put a white face on. They basically trying to make themselves great, And we all know that the victor writes the history, but the so-called white man is not a victor. He's a conqueror, a killer, a slacky, an unaliver, a beast. Let's take it even for let's bring it up to the 90s. Super predator. Hillary Clinton tried to call us super predators, call tribe of Issachar super predators, but that's really y'all the super predators. You know how? Because back in what's that, Sodom and Gomorrah, according to the Bible. Now this is funny to me because what do you see on the TV today? We all know as Israelites, and even as people in the world, the Gentiles, the people who don't know that they Israelites, but they are. Even them people, they should know that the LMNOP, that whole alternative lifestyle thing, that's the so-called white man's culture. That goes back to Greece and the Greek mythology and things of that nature. Because look, we can see that because look at the statues that they made. Look at the statues that they molded. You know them. I don't know if you ever seen them all white statues when they got the man naked with his genitalia out. Like that's a gay thing, Salakia. That's just ridiculous. If we as Israelites was to make a sculpture, it'll be of a man with a glorious garment on, you wouldn't see none of his or her lower extremities. You know, we would try to make that painting look fearless and strong and mighty, but we got the and then we got the so-called white man. He makes all his sculptures and things of that nature. He got statues of men naked, G. Like Salaki for saying naked, G, but naked. And that should be even more proof that that's their culture. That whole alternative lifestyle stuff. But like I said, they try to put all those names and all those titles that's the negative titles, the negative stigma, the negative images, the negative everything negative that's really their culture. They turned around and put it on us. The Bible says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." That's exactly what the so-called white man do. Because look again. How do we know this? Look at the TV shows that's on that they promote. They got a show called Baddies, when it's nothing but our people on there fighting and acting a fool and being whores, shaking their tail. What else? Just basically painting us as a savage people. When back in the days, or even not even that far back in the days, the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, when we were organized, when we were, trying to push our people forward, our women dressed in modest apparel. The wives, the women was submissive, and it worked. This thing that they got going on today is turning, I don't want to say turning, you know where it turned into modern day Babylon, when your African Barack Obama got into office. That's when it turned into modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. It ruffled feathers when Bush was in office. Now when Bush was in office, it had everybody mad, even some of the white folks was mad at Bush. You know what I'm saying? But then the white folks' favorite president came in, which is the African Obama. When he came in, he made their culture he exploited their culture and pushed it off on us with that whole acceptance thing, and love is love thing. Love is not love. You know what it is? I don't know if I can say this, but no cowards and no excuses, man. Gay is gay, man. Lesbianism is lesbianism. That's not all our culture. Again, you don't see no white people on TV acting all flamboyant. White men on TV acting flamboyant. No white rappers acting flamboyant. No white men on TV painting their nails. Like, they trying to push that off on us. So if we say it's okay, then it's okay. But us in the Isupk, under Commander and General Yohana, we know that that's not okay. It's scriptures that tell us that's not okay, and that's all we're doing is following this Bible, And like I said earlier, history repeats itself. Like we said right here, nothing new under the sun. They did this in Sodom and Gomorrah. They had that whole elemental P thing going on. And you know what happened? The Lord came and destroyed that place. So much so that you got people in the world, or maybe even the people that got them hidden agendas, trying to say that Sodom and Gomorrah didn't exist, but it absolutely did exist. It looked like America looks today. With all I just mentioned some, the lesbianism, the gayness, everybody coming together. Everybody not supposed to be together. We're supposed to be a separated people away from these heathens. And again, another thing that the Bible states, I'm gonna have to start pulling these scriptures, man, because if y'all know, then y'all know. But the scripture says the Lord is not an author of confusion. And what happened when everybody came together? A bunch of confusion, because we didn't know who our enemy was. We just continued to get attacked. We don't know, um, and I ain't gonna say people, the men and women in the Isupk, because we know the difference. But the people that's in the world, they don't know the difference between an African and an Israelite. The difference between an Ethiopian and an Israelite. You know what they say in the world? We all human. What is that? What is that? Literally, you can go to many different species. We can. I'm gonna just break 2 or 3 down right quick. We can go through many different species. Hold on. We can go through many different species, like a dog. Dogs got many breeds. You got a pit bull, a German shepherd, a mastiff, a bulldog, a wolf dog, a chihuahua. The list goes on and on with the species of dog. They are dogs, but they're not the same dogs. If everybody was the same, everybody would be one race, one color, one height, one weight. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense what they try to feed us, and the people that's naive, or the people that got these hidden agendas to confuse us. Because it's people out there, it's entertainers out there, it's organizations out there paid to confuse us, paid to challenge the truth, and the Lord gonna deal with them swiftly. We don't have to take vengeance into our own hands. The Lord is going to deal with them who causing that confusion, because he's whoever causing that confusion, whoever challenging the truth with lies, they it's like warfare, because they further detaching the Lord's people from this Bible, from the law, statutes, and commandments. I just be all over the place. I don't even know how I got here, but it's crazy. But where was I? Yes, with the different species, like I said, what they say, what the so-called scientists and the so-called smartest people say, we are human. I just broke down is a many different species of dog, but all the dogs are not the same. Let's move on to what? Birds. We can go to birds. You got the dove, the pigeon, the eagle, the vulture, the hummingbird, the robin, the what do you call that? Pecking, the woody. I know him as Woody Woodpecker, the pecking bird. You got just many different species of birds. They are birds, but they are not the same. This is just basic. This is the most basic form of biology. The most basic, like I can teach this to kindergartners, to first graders. Let me give you one more example. What else? You have fish. No, let's not do fish, because, well, we can do fish. We can do many different type of fish. Like, you got trout, you got catfish, tilapia, salmon. It's a fish called whitefish. What else? It's a high-end fish. That maybe one like $50 for one. I can't even think of the name, but that's another thing, is they all fish. but they not the same. So why when it comes to humans, we all human. We all bleed the same. That's a dog bleeds red too, don't it? So a dog is the same as us. Knock it off, man. Don't be confused by these people. Don't go down. They just trying to save their own tail. When they say we are the same 9 times out of 10, it's a heathen saying it to try to equalize himself with us, even though the scriptures say we above all people, you know. And I don't even know how I got here, man. Just let me read this one more time, then I'm gonna go into the history scripture. So like it, because that's crazy. Stuff be triggering me when I talk. When I talk about certain things, and I don't like the word triggered, because triggered to me is like I just don't like the word trigger. But when I be talking about these things, it just spark up other things that I have been thinking of, you know. So if y'all been in my class before, if y'all listen to me teach before, sometimes it happen like that. You know, I don't go here to here to here to here. I go here, oh, here. But at the end of the day, it's all teachings and it's all the truth. You know what I'm saying? But let me read this one more time and then expound on it a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to what I had originally. So it's like yeah, I know y'all seen Bruce Almighty. It's like he over there typing on a thing, and I was going just that whole time. But so like so yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been, meaning the thing that it had been, it came to pass already. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, meaning if it happened then, it's going to happen now. You know, simple and plain. And that which is done is that which shall be done. Like something, the thing that they already did is going to repeat itself and be done again. You know, all this stuff in here, the TVs, all this, everything, the chairs, the board, the refrigerators, all this stuff on this podium. It was here before. Maybe not in this, maybe in this specific spot. I don't know. But it was here before, and maybe not in this specific spot, but it was somewhere else set up just like this. And it says, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Meaning, if it happened then, it's going to happen again. If it happened back then, it's going to happen now. Like you got us, the teachers, the prophets. If we was those people trying to bring our people out of the world, speaking on those corners, maybe not in the corners. In the corners. Speaking on the corners, in the byways, in the barrios, in the ghettos, and everywhere that our people was at, we was there speaking this truth, saying what we got to say, saying what the scriptures tell us to say, which is cry aloud, spare not. You know, fish, bring men in, because we want to bring in as much people as we can, because that's a part of brotherhood. We want to save as much people as we can before the Lord destroys this place. Because once he what's going on? Let me get an example. Once something start crumbling, you cannot save it. Ain't nobody gonna be able to save this America from the Lord's wrath, man. Ain't no superpower. I don't care what they be in these comic books, these superheroes, that's all imagination. None of them, you ain't gonna be saved by Superman. You ain't gonna be saved by who Black Panther. These Africans ain't trying to save you. Low key, these Africans hate your guts, but they like your money. Stop giving them your money. Salakia. It says, and that which is done is that which shall be done. I just explained that. And there is no new thing under the sun. Now, somebody like me, conspiracist slash truthist. I don't know if I just made that up, but we're going to go with that. I'm a truthist, conspiracy theorist, conspiracist, because theorist. I'm going to say I'm a conspiracist. I'm not a theorist, conspiracist. And a truthist, because when I read scriptures like that, when it says nothing new is under the sun, all the new things are above the sun and beyond, somewhere that we as people, we can't get to unless, Lord willing, it's all up to everything. All the decisions are up to the Lord. Whatever this Bible says do, that's what we do as Israelites and as of the flesh. These things in this Bible here, the KJV, of course, is what we shall carry out, to maybe make it to that place above the sun. I don't know who's to say what it is, and maybe it's nothing, but that's just a piece of how I think right there. Nothing new under the sun. I mean, everything on this earth has been done before. That's why when you're looking at like what Discovery channels, these Discovery channels and these Explorer channels, when they be, did I say it right? Explorer channels. These deep sea diving channels where they do the free diving. They dive and then underneath the water, so many miles under, you see a pyramid under there. You definitely see a pyramid up under there. You see cities underneath there. It could be Sodom and Gomorrah that the Lord destroyed and put under the ocean because it was so wicked. Yet, see, I want y'all to think about this. The Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It's nowhere to be found. It's nowhere to be found. And if it's under the ocean, it don't affect the landmass to this day. Like nobody can find the Sodom and Gomorrah place. That's because the Lord destroyed it. If you ask me, he put it underwater. Destroyed it, put it underwater. It's just like the city of Atlantis and all the Bermuda Triangles and all this old stuff. Underwater, man. The Lord destroyed that. Just like when Moses hit that staff on that ground, that ocean opened up. Israelites went through. The Romans is under there. Roman bones. Because they didn't like that we was the chosen people. They tried to get us back. And even when we got across to the other side, some of the Israelites was trying to go back. Like that, and that's something that I live by to this day. You never go back. Keep pushing forward. Nothing new under the sun. Meaning, see, I don't want to see how you see, but you see how they make movies on every other thing, but you're not gonna see a movie on how Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. You're not gonna see a movie on how us as Israelites fled from Israel into Africa and was captured in there by Africans, because that's the thing they like to say too. Well, Africans sold Africans. That's a lie. Africans did not sell no Africans. And now this is what I give them. They maybe gave some of their prisoners over and tried to blend the prisoners in with us, and some of the prisoners got over there. Maybe. That's not a fact. Then I'm leaning more towards no. But maybe that's what happened. Some of the African prisoners got mixed in with us and they got shipped over there with us. But immediately they know the difference between the African and the Israelite. Immediately. Just the small things, what they head shape, the traditions, the garments, by the look you can tell. Oh, absolutely, by the look you can tell. Dang, I was trying to bring it all home, not just. Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, they're not gonna show the movies of the truth. They're gonna show you what they thought, what they want you to see. They're not gonna show you the truth. You know how Israel fled into Africa. It was captured there by Africans. The Israelites got sold to the European man, even though the Arab taught the European man how to enslave us. You know, and what the Arab do today? He enslaves us with the prices at the stores. That's another form of oppression, trying to get deeper and deeper into your pockets, man. That's crazy, ain't it? So, you know, they brought us over here, you know, maybe convinced some of us to fight in their wars, be on front lines with them. You know what they did? They made us be on the front line with them so we can put the people that they was going to war with at ease. You know, like the native Indians, the so-called Hispanics. Because they see us on the front line. Oh, they are friends. Low key. We have a whole different, we have a year. And I'm not saying, well, maybe it is today though, but I'm saying what happened when we came over here. The so-called white man put us on the front lines of his armies to put the people that we was going to war with at ease. Oh, that's my brother. He dark skinned. He don't want to harm us. Next thing you know, the white man told us to do a bow. Killing and hurting our own people for the white man. We scared of what he gonna do to our families. You know, that whole threat thing, that whole, I know you've seen these mob movies where they be like, kill you, your whole family, and all this and that, right? That's what they literally was doing to us. If we didn't carry out the task that they had told us to carry out, they literally killed our whole can I say kill? Let me see other channels get away with a lie. I ain't never seen. I'm gonna just let it go today. Unalived, sexually assault, just completely sold off people. That's the threat. That's the threat that the so-called white man. Yeah, I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna sell your people to somebody else, or I'm gonna sexually assault your wife, your daughter, your whoever. You know, if you don't do these tasks that I have for you. And you know what happened? We did those tasks only for him to still do the things that he said he wouldn't do if I didn't do it. You know, straight betrayal. That's the only thing that the so-called white man is good for, and that's what he is good for today. Who betraying us today? Joe Biden. We don't do the politic thing, but it's clear as day that this man is betraying the American people, which are Israelites. He betraying us. Because sometimes it sounds like I'm saying he portraying us, but so like he betraying us, sending all this money over to foreign countries when we need help here in these cities. And that's another reason why y'all shouldn't rely on these political parties. How long has it been a president? Let me look that up real quick. Let me put this right here for a quick mark. Let me look that up real quick. How long has it been a president? And we've been voting. Let me look at that real quick. That's a great question. Salakia, bear with me real quick. 1789, so-called, because it's other news out there, other discoveries out there that it's presidents before George Washington. It been presidents before that devil. So let's count that up. Let's count that up. 1789. Now I'm not great at math. Let me see. It's gonna be interesting. 1789. Right? And it's 2023. So see, and then you got to factor in how many years were they president, how many this, how many that, but we ain't gonna do all that. The first president was 1789. So, and it's two, and that's the first president was in the year 1789. So 1789. How did we get to 2023 from there? That's over 300. Let me see. Plus 300. No. Hold on. Plus. Two. We getting close. Salakia. So I got it. Wait, it's 2024, isn't it? So 235. 35. So since the first president, it's been 235 years since the first president. What changed? Who helped? What good did it do? Are we better now or were we better then? These are the questions that you should be asking to the church, to the politicians, to the people you vote for, what the city council, the mayors. If you want to get in politics, you have to ask those questions and get a concrete answer. Because if you ask the Isupk, nothing changed. For those 235 years, it's 235, right? 235 years since the first president been on record, George Washington. Since George Washington, I'm gonna just say that. Since George Washington, it's been 235 years. It absolutely didn't get better for us. Nothing got better. It actually, now you would be asking yourself, how do you get worse from slavery? How do you get worse from slavery? You in chains. You working for somebody else. They don't do it. They whipping the skin off your back. You try to run away, they cutting your foot off. You have these interracial relationships with their daughter or their wife or whatever. They unaliving you. You understand that? You come up with a business plan to make you and your family some money. They stealing it for themselves. A bunch of Uh, what degenerates? What did AG say the other day? Degenerates, man. These people are degenerate. They the lowest of the low. If you really look at it and analyze it, they can't do nothing for themselves. They stole everything, every single thing. And this was back then. This was 1789 was it? 1789. He stole America. Golly, good night. He stole America. This man came over here, seen some people here. Oh, I discovered that place. Unalived them with monkeypox and diseased blankets. But then came out with a song that go like, this your this land is your land, this land is my land. Ridiculous. This land is not your land. Europe is not your land. You know where your land at? It's like that soda, Mountain Dew. You do to go to the mountains. No, for sure. But absolutely. You don't got nothing over here, man. Belongs to you. You stole everything you have. This is why the Lord is coming with a sword. Because of the way that you treated his people. The way that you treated the apple of the Lord's eye. You know, everything got its favorites. Everything has its favorites. That never stops. You got, you may have multiple kids, but you got the one that you just know that's gonna be prosperous, the one that you know is special. Maybe even two. You got your favorite basketball team, your favorite ice cream, your favorite thing to eat. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is no different. Just to name a few, the Lord likes the dove, loves the dove. That's one of the Lord's favorite things, is the dove. What else? We are his favorite people. The chosen people, the covenants was given to us. And that never changed to this day. But why did I bring that? Why did I bring that out? The 235 years. Why did I bring that out? Because to show you nothing changes. They didn't like you then. They definitely don't like you now. They trying to replace you. Actually, with all these heathen nations coming in here, taking all the little dirty jobs, the jobs that we don't like, taking them, working their way up. Actually, it was an experiment done, and this might be one of my conspiracy things. I don't know, but with that self-checkout, they did, everywhere got that self-checkout now. Only place that might not have it is places like Dollar Tree. Even Walgreens got the self-checkout. You know what that does? Snatches jobs away from the youth, from the so-called white man. I mean, the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. Snatches those jobs right off up from them. And now they start to make these fast food places with a lot of machines in there to snatch those jobs from like, it's ridiculous. And one more thing, like if you go into some of the in these fancy restaurants, they got robot servers. Like a real life robot will come to your table and ask you, what do you want to order? Just snatching the jobs. making us have to think outside the box to even make $1. You know, it gets worse and worse and worse. Nothing has changed for us. In 235 years, when they so-called elected the first president. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That lets you know, get out of the White House, get out of them politics. Come in here. This is where you can politic at. About this Bible. Politic about the Bible. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the real thing that we should be following and doing. Because all these other the politics is just all inclusive. Nope. We need somewhere where we can shine. Somewhere where the things that we create, the things that we come up with only benefits us. You know? Because nowadays, what happens? Like I was saying back in the day, the inventions that we come up with, the little schemes we come up with, the so-called master, the slave master will come steal that idea from you, man, say that is his own, and possibly unalive you. But today, how do they do that today? They buy you. Not buy you like a swamp or something like that. They buy you. The most recent thing that happened, this lady, she came out with this pink sauce. Now she was making it out her kitchen at first for like maybe 6 months or something like that. It was selling off the shelf. You don't even see this pink sauce in the grocery store. You have to go to certain areas to see this pink sauce. But let me continue with the story. She came up with this pink sauce. You know what I'm saying? What happened? The FDA said, "Oh no, we ain't getting our cut off of this." You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that it happens like that, because it just in the scripture that I brung out. What was it? Ecclesiastes 1:9. Nothing new under the sun. I just said how the so-called master come steal your ideas and put it out there as his own. Well, that happened to that lady. She was selling it out her crib. Boom. I don't know if she had, license to sell it, or, it's a whole bunch of licenses, and basically it's permission that we got to get from the government to sell our invention, which is crazy all in itself. I need permission from you to sell what I made. It don't even make sense. That's why y'all have to break away from these people. We should be, and I can't wait till the Lord destroy this place, man, because that's wicked. What you mean I gotta break you off? That's extortion. Extortion. That's bullying. That's real bullying right there. You talking about I gotta break you off from an invention that I made without your help? You didn't put 2 cents in here. It's crazy. And that's what they did back then. They stole your invention, call it theirs. You don't get nothing. You lucky I left you alive type of deal. That's the deal they got. You lucky I left you alive. Which is, when you think about it, that's the gangs. They are the original gangs. When you think about it. They extort you, they threaten you, and even if sometimes you'll give them your invention and everything, they still come back and unalive you because you know too much. You could possibly do something else to, things of that nature. That's why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. But back to the story, though. Hold on, Salaki. So this lady, Israelite lady, of course, we innovative like that. She made this pink sauce. Now, I don't know what the ingredients is, I don't know how she made it pink, but you know, all the women have. If this was on, and y'all probably didn't even see this on national news. That's how they cover stuff up. If this sauce had a commercial, if this sauce had, you know, an advertisement, a billboard, or something, y'all know, because women, y'all are the best in those kitchens now. Now, y'all might have some men runner uppers now. Some men give y'all some run for your money, but I say overall, women, that's y'all stuff right there. Is whipping in that kitchen. You know, that wrist beat. Y'all know that song. Look at the flick of the wrist. That was for women, if you ask me. They be in there stirring, make a home cooked meal in about an hour. I'm talking about several sides on the same stove. Look, multitasking. several plates, no, several dishes on the same stove while watching the movie, while watching the baby, while making bottles, while like it's some talented Israelites out there, man. If y'all can just come together to make one umbrella of like a food joint, or you know, just maybe a little center where everybody got their own thing, but it's Israelite grown, you know, that would be amazing. But back to the story again. I'll just be getting carried away. The lady had the pink sauce, selling it out her kitchen. You know what I'm saying? The FDA come knocking at her door, you know, giving her offers and all this, all that. First, she turned them shits down, Salaki. She turned the offers down. Well, this ain't enough. Well, y'all get this much, and I only get this, you know, this and that, right? So eventually, they start. I don't know if they start like putting rules and regulations on things that she can put in the sauce and all this other stuff. They start putting that on her. So eventually, she sold the sauce to the devils. And then what happened? You don't see that sauce no more. You don't even hear about that. I must have mistakenly came up on that post. This was a while back, maybe 2020 or something, 2019, maybe 2022. No, I'll say 2019, around 2019-ish. You ain't hear about no pink sauce. Like, so you know how you got ranch dressing, ketchup, honey mustard, mayo, you know, those type of sauces, sriracha, you know, just different type of sauces. She threw a pink sauce in there. You ain't hear nothing about it. That's because the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of, came in, bought her out, shelved it. You never see it again. Ain't no telling how much money they gave her for it, when she could have probably been making way more if she would have just got like a commercial, if she would have just got like advertisement. Because you know, and I give it to the women now, they some eating, you know, they would have had that sauce in their kitchen. Millions and millions of women across the earth would have had that sauce in their kitchen just to try it, because it's another Israelite. You know, we support our Israelite people, especially in here in the Isupk. We support our Israelite people. You know, women would have been buying that sauce, but like I read before in Ecclesiastes 1:9, nothing new under the sun. They did the slaves like that, took their invention, claimed it as their own. Said he ain't had nothing to do that. Most of the time, they probably unalived the person that really invented it, and then claimed it as their own. Then the ingredients start switching up, and you know, it start ridiculous, man. Let's move on though. Let's go ahead and drop that. Slocky, I need Slocky. Hold on a second, y'all. This is crazy. Yeah, let's move on, man, because this next scripture that I'm about to bring out that I should have started with before I got into all that, not I don't want to call it nonsense, all that information that I just put out there. This next scripture is very it's a tough subject. It's it makes you think a lot about the past and the present and the future, you know, um, which is Zechariah 11:5. Now we all know. Let me, and this is something that y'all can Google too, real quick. Google, when did the police force start? When did the police force start? That's something to Google, because back in the slavery days, they had people who went out and specialized in catching runaways. You know what I'm saying? Runaway slaves, people who was fed up with that stuff. Wow. I need to be writing this down. Wow. So y'all remember when earlier in the show when I was talking about George Washington, the so-called first president, that was 1789. 1789. The police wasn't a thing. The police wasn't a thing. Hold on, let me get to it. Right here. Police wasn't a thing until 1844. Let me just read this little thing right here before I get into it, man. This is crazy. So you mean to tell me the so-called first president was 1789? That's when they first elected the first president. But the first police department was established in 1844. Imagine. So yeah, let's do the math on that real quick. Hold on. 18. Salaki, hold on. Real quick. Let me just grab a pen. Real quick. Mm-hmm. We finna get to the bottom of this. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty on this. Because this is crazy to see. I don't even know. I'm teaching myself right now. So the first president was, in office at 1789. 1789. First press. But 1844. makes me angry a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it says, let me just read this. The first police department in the United States was established in New York City in 1844. It was officially organized in 1845. Other cities soon followed suit. New Orleans, which was majority Israelites in New Orleans, absolutely, undeniably. New Orleans and Cincinnati, Ohio in 1852. Boston and Philadelphia in 1854. Chicago and Milwaukee in 1855. And also Baltimore, Maryland. Now let me look up one more thing before I go in. Salakia. Man, so man. Let me put this up here. 1704. Now let me read this. This is the kicker right here. Slave patrols first began in South Carolina in 1704 and spread throughout the 13 colonies, lasting well beyond the American Revolution. Now, that's crazy. Crazy. Y'all got to get up on y'all history, man. Get in these, I know people who used to go to the library a lot, the last of a dying breed, but get in those libraries, man. Read those history books. There's knowledge in there, and it'll help you understand or overstand or whatever the case you like to believe you do. You overstand something, you understand something. Whatever you believe to do, get in these books, man. Especially if you're an Israelite, get in this Holy Bible, KJV. All other versions is a bold because they all inclusive. This the one who exclude. We're supposed to be an exclusive people, exclusively to the Lord, exclusively the Lord's. I don't know how many of y'all watch battle rap out there, but Smack DVD used to promote exclusive vodka, and it used to be like exclusively yours. No, we exclusively to the Lord. We're exclusively the Lord's. Salakia. But yeah, so this is crazy right here. So you had slave patrol started in 1704. The first president was 1789. Just imagine all the lynchings, all the burning of lives, all the unaliving for no reason, all the unaliving just for using the wrong water fountain, the unaliving for catching you at the wrong place at the wrong time. Just nasty racism at its worst, because back then you would literally be unalive right then and there. Let the wrong so-called white man catch you, it's over for you. Let the wrong so-called white woman lie on you, it's over for you. Because you go into court. Once you go to court, what you gonna see? Nothing but white people who saying you did something you didn't do is over for you. And it said the police wasn't invented until 1844. So you know what they did? Took the law into their own hands, took you out in that street and did what they wanted to do to you with no consequences, man. This is the nature of the so-called white man. A killer, a cunning hunter, was bored. 1704 was bored. That's when slavery patrol started. Was bored and just said, I'm gonna just go catch some niggas. Crazy. But they put all these words on us, super predators. They put the elemental P community on us. When we know it's state culture to be having those orgies and Greek orgies and all this old stuff. The bug breaking, and that's pretty gay, bro. You want to do it? Man, I don't even want to say it out loud. That's how gay it is. Salakia. But it's wild. Slave patrol started in 1704. 1704. But the police wasn't invented until 1844. That's like, if I'm not mistaken, that's more than 100 years, man. More than 100 years. And that's it. Man. But what I was getting at when I brought out those dates was the so-called white man never liked you. It's like that to this day with that video that just came out. That white devil walked up to the it's a graduation setting. The white devil walked up to the black superintendent of the school and escorted him. Now, this white devil was a civilian of a student that is graduating. He walked up on stage. Now, it don't get much white privilege than that. This devil walked on the stage in front of everybody, grabbed the black superintendent and pushed him off to the side. The caption read, he didn't want his white daughter to shake the black superintendent's hand upon graduation. You know, if we would have did that, that would have been on CNN. And when I say we, any Israelite, blacks, natives, Hispanics, any of us would have did that, that would have been on CNN. They would have been bringing that up on the news. You understand that? But since it's a white devil, no. It's a social media thing. Once it gets on social media, it barely gets to the news. It's barely an uproar. It's barely an uproar, and they be talking about racism dead and all. No, that's clear proof that it's not. Clear proof, clear cut proof. You understand that? Let me get to this, man, because that's wild. I did not know that the slave patrol started in 1704. But the police wasn't established until 1844. That's 100 years worth of killing, rape, robbing, murdering again. 100 years plus. And even after the police was doing it. Let me read. This is the book of Zechariah, man. The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Give y'all a second to get to it real quick. Y'all there? Y'all there? All right. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them? Like I was saying, 1844, the police was first established. No, we can go back to Slave Patrol, 1704. Slave Patrol was established then. They possessed us. They carried out whatever they felt like the right punishment was, which it was never right. Whatever they came up with was never right. Not to mention the punishments that they had in Egypt, which was with the like, cause it, and I'm a sidebar real quick. It used to be this show called Mansers, came on Channel 51 back in the day. I don't know what channel that is now. But it's a show called Mansers. On Mansers, they show all the medieval punishments, like the Iron Bull, like punishments like you will see on Saw, the movie Saw. Those are real life punishments, believe them or not. Like when you had that man, his arms was hooked in there and his legs were hooked in there, and they twist like all the way until them joints twist off. That's a real mechanism. The Iron Bull, where they lock you in a bull, in a metal bull, put a fire under there. Put a fire underneath the bull and you burn alive inside the bull. These are the things that they thought of. They thought of these type of punishments. It's cruel and unusual punishments. I can't see that. What is that? Okay. Cruel and unusual punishments, man. What was I getting at? Yeah, like I was saying, whose possessor slayed them. 1704, the slave patrol started. 10 times out of 10, the punishment did not match the crime. And 10 more times out of 10, the so-called Israelite that they caught for it didn't even do it. He just got blamed for it because the so-called white man is a devious devil. He probably did that. So he probably killed them little girls. He probably, you know what I'm saying, did that to his wife. But to cover that up, she said it was a black man, or she said it was a Mexican man, or, you know. Slave patrol went out, went to go find a random black man somewhere. You did that. What they say today? You fit the description? Crazy. You fit the description. Is old, is 17, is from now back to 1704 and maybe a little bit beyond that. It's crazy. See, man, sometimes, man, I'll be lost for words when I be finding things out. Like 1704, 1804, that's 100 years. 1904, that's 200 years. 2004. Now again, 1704 is just when slave patrol was made. It's just when slave patrol was made. Before that, they took the law into their own hands and did whatever. They was able to storm these places and get the people that they was looking for off to do God knows what to them. And don't act like they wasn't, you know, cutting these babies out of these women's stomachs. They was doing the women just as cruel. Because, you know, back then our women wasn't willingly going with these devils. They forced themselves upon them. Our women was not willingly going. That's why they show you, they try to desensitize you with it when they put it in these slave movies. The white lady, the so-called black woman being okay with being with the devil. It's a lie. But then they definitely show you the truth too. The so-called white man rapes robs and murders us. I don't know if I can say that, but we're gonna let it fly today because it's just ridiculous, man. Nothing's new under the sun. Ain't no telling what they doing in them jails to these young women out here. You know, how many so-called cops ain't getting none at home who drive around looking for prostitutes to, unalive and sexually assault then unalive because they that embarrassed. Man. And then the so-called white woman, they know better. Cause I was in the 8th grade. I'll never forget this. I'm in the 8th grade. This book that we had to do a report on or whatever was called I think Monster. It was called Monster. And they got a movie out about it too. But they gave us this book in the 8th grade. It was about a prostitute, a white prostitute that killed her clients after they do the do. Sometimes before they do the do, kills the clients, and then I think she drive around in a car or something like that. I'm not sure. Man, what goes to show you, they be ashamed. The so-called white woman be ashamed that she had to get out there on that doing dirty things for money, man. Crazy. Let me finish this real quick. This is Book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessor, let me start at 4. Thus saith the Lord, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter. Verse 5. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna start. Yeah. Verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. This is what I wrote this down for. The slave patrol started in 04. They did whatever they wanted for 3, what? Did whatever they wanted for, and even before it. Let me look up one more thing before I get to breaking this down because I want to be super accurate with this if I could. Come on, man. Don't do this to me now. Salakia, bear with me, class. I knew it. 1619. 1619. Okay. So this could be inaccurate. You know how they throw anything on Google, but let me read this before I get into this. In late August 1619, 20 to 30 enslaved Africans landed at Point Comfort, today's Fort Monroe in Hampton, VA, aboard the English privateer ship White Lion. in Virginia, these Africans were traded in exchange for supplies. Several days later, a second ship, Treasurer, arrived in Virginia with additional enslaved Africans. Now, we all know these people that they came over here with was not Africans. Absolutely not. Let me read this. Let me read this one last paragraph. The goal of the 1969 project is to reframe American history by making explicit how slavery is the foundation on which the United States of America is built, and by considering which is and by considering what it would mean to regard 1969 as the nation's birth. Not 1969, 1619. Salakia. Let me read that again because I messed that up. And by considering what it would mean to regard 1619 as the nation's birth. Now, I'm going to hold this and then go through what I personally wrote right here. Okay, so you got the so-called slaves arrived, which was Israelites. They first arrived here in 1619. Slave patrol first started in 1704. What's that? About 60 years? About 80 years? About 80. Wait, hold on. About 84, 85 years. 85. So make mental notes. So the slaves arrived 1619. 85 years later, the slave patrol was created. Man, this is getting deep. This is man. So the slave patrol was created 1704. And then about 85 years later, again, another 85 years. This is crazy. So from 1704 to 1789, that's 85, right? Let me check. Because I want to get the straight facts here. I don't want to guess and do all that. So I wasn't good at math. So I have to get this on the calculator. So lock it. Bear with me, y'all. So it says 1789 plus 85. 18, 17. Oh no, it's 1704 plus 1704 plus 85. 89. Yep, dang, it's crazy. So 85 years later, again. It better not be another 85 or I'm gonna be highly pissed. 1789 plus 85. 1874. Oh, okay. Yeah, it better not have been 1789 plus 50. 51. 55. 55 years. Okay. Okay, got it now. All right, so the so-called slaves arrived in 1619. I'm willing to bet it's a little bit earlier than that because I don't trust these records that they recorded. You understand me? So slaves arrived over here in 1619. 85 years later, slave patrol was established, which was in 1704. 85 more years later was when the first president, when this is crazy, the so-called first president too, because I don't trust the records they recording. 1704 to 1789, that's 85 years later. The first president, so-called. Then from 1789 to 1844, which was 55 years later, the first police department was established. 55 years later after the first president. So in between all these titles, in between when they arrived here to slave patrol, to first president, to the first police department, and after the first police department, because believe it or not, the police unalive so Israelites for no reason. Like I don't know how many of y'all out there seen the movie Detroit, but that's a perfect example. And not only that, the footage that they have in black and white when the Israelites was getting, hit with the hose, hit with the German shepherds, the dogs attacking them, hit with the fire truck hose. Like they had the fire station in on this. Imagine that. Somebody that's supposed to be and this was, and it puzzles me just to even think about it. But think about this: back in the day, before the police department, or even after the first the police department, because they still do it to this day. Imagine you, an Israelite, your house is on fire. The police department is racist. They're not coming to save you. Think about that. You had absolutely no help whatsoever. The police don't like you. But then you got the the firefighters not liking you. They hitting you with the hose. Your crib over here on fire, but they come to hit you with the hose real quick. Crazy work. Let me finish reading this because we bringing out more and more information or more and more teachings as we go on. But it's deferring me from what I want to read though. And I can't see that. Man. So let me just start from the top. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Now this took up all them years from 1619 to 2023. Let's see, we're gonna have to get back in. Let me do that one last thing from 1619 to 2023. How many years is that? How many years is that? 1619 plus 424. No. 400. 405. 405 years, man. 405 years. Possessors slay them. Crazy work. Now, it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Now, that's from 1619 to 2024, which is 405 years. They possess us, they slay us, and then they hold themselves not guilty at all. I'm talking about from 1619, when the slaves arrived. You know how many people died in the journey over here? Millions. Nobody go to jail for that. It's like it wasn't even no jail established. Crazy work. It wasn't no jail established for these Englishmen who did that to us. That's why you have to separate yourself, man, from these devils. Don't get in relationships with them. Don't make marriages with them. Don't protect them. Don't come to their aid. None of it. All you supposed to do business with them, then go back to your people. Don't, hey, man, look, be careful out there what y'all do. Be careful what y'all do to help these people, man, because even though you're helping them, they still turn around and stab you right in the back. Crazy. We got both of our hands coming out to help you. They got one of their hands behind their back talking about, as soon as you get their hand, they hit you in the kidney with a knife or something. Crazy work. Crazy work. But what was I getting at? Yeah, who possess or slay them and hold themselves not guilty. In 1619, the jail system was not even established to hold these people guilty for the crime they committed. But the Lord see that, though. The Lord ain't forget that, though. You know? Hold themselves not guilty. That's throughout these years. That's 405 years. Even before that, because I don't trust the records that they record, the recordings that they, I don't trust it. So if it says 1619, you can just go ahead and take that down to the 1500s. Crazy work. So I'm gonna just erase that out here, even though it say that. But so from 1500s to fucking 2024, Salakia, that's hundreds of years of who slaying us and holding themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Meaning, they think they ordained by God. They think that the Lord told them to do this. That's what they think. And then they say, I am rich. What can they do to me? I'm rich. Prideful. I'm rich. What are they going to do to me? This is the things that the so-called white man is thinking. I'm rich. What can y'all do to me? You know what I'm saying? That goes for the people in Hollywood making billions of dollars, the billionaires, Elon Musk. Like Elon Musk just gave a remote tribe the internet. They got addicted to porn. And that's a form of warfare. Like, what you give them that for? What did you give them a cell phone or technology for? They was doing just fine without it. I mean, they don't have no money to give you. So why did you give them? They didn't need that. Ain't no staying in touch with them. Why would you need to be in touch with them? My brother ZQ said it best. It's some kind of resource over there that they're trying to extract, but they needed a distraction. Have them looking over here while the so-called white man again is stealing from over here. He wicked, man. Stay away from these other nations. And I'm gonna take it off the white man for a second. The so-called Arab The Chinese, these people got stores in your neighborhood, liquor stores, candy stores, Chinese people, they got nail salons, hair salons, you know, little massage parlors and things like that in your neighborhood. Do they ever throw a discount out there to you? Is it ever I'm gonna ask my rib. Is it ever a discount day where they say something is half off on the nails or the wigs or the hair? Is it ever a day in a gas station where something that you need is on sale? The only sale they have in the gas station is stuff that's due to expire the next week or due to expire within a couple days. That's the only time they'll drop the price and give you this king size candy bar for $1 or something. That's because it's about to expire. Getting over completely. You know, these other nations are not here to help us at all. They ain't throwing no rallies. They ain't throwing no give back to the community type of things. They taking their money, saving it, or shipping it to their home country, making their home country rich. And they getting rich over here. So that's the only reason they able to do that. Because what? So many of our people shop in these hair stores, these nail salons, you know, gas station, and the gas fluctuates. $3, $4 back down. $3, $4 back down. $5, $6. Not to mention on the West Coast, that's probably like $8 for a gallon. Crazy work, man. Like it says, for I am rich, and their shepherds pity them not. Shepherds pity them not. Meaning the people that's in their people don't look at them like, why are you doing this to them? They right along with it. They don't care what happens to us, and we shouldn't care what happened to them. That's the whole point. Separate yourself from these heathen nations. They've been showing you they're against you for over 400 years. Over 400 years. But what they do to confuse, they throw confusional, is that a word? Confusional. They throw tactics out there that confuse you to make it seem like they with you, but they really not. Then our people are such a loving people. They want to invite people in. They want to, you know, let somebody so-called white do some on the internet that's funny. Oh, they automatically invited to the cookout. They not invited to the cookout, bruh. Not until they give us this. And even then, give us this 500 years back and slaying us and hold them not guilty. Man, the Lord finna destroy this place, man. I can't wait. And with that, this is the Isupk out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group, period. Y'all got to know that, though, because we're unique. Why are we unique? Because we are the truth. I am Officer Kananya. This has been the history class. Shalom. Crazy work. Crazy